What's today's episode about?
Professionalism in gaming.
Should we be doing that?
I mean, apparently. Hi everyone, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
I'm Indigo.
And today we're here to talk to you about kind of an enormous problem, which is the lack of professionalism in professional gaming.
We're going to be talking a lot about Overwatch, but we just want to specify that this is not a Overwatch specific problem.
And it's not even a professional esports problem. It's also people that are creating content and
People consuming content.
People consuming content.
Viewers like you. Thank you.
And sometimes it's developers themselves, I'd say. We're probably going to focus on the professional esports stuff. Also, another disclaimer, it's not all of them. I wouldn't even say a majority of them. I would just say it's too many.
Yeah.
Right? It's a surprisingly large number of professional gamers that don't understand the difference between somebody that's sitting on their couch at home that's just, representing themselves in the middle of a match and somebody that's on a stage in front of a ton of people potentially being idolized by those people.
So one of the things that we wanted to talk about is the fact that Jeff Kaplan came out and released a video, their latest developer video, about some of the things that they're going to be doing to kind of get out of this toxic environment. One of the things that they're going to be doing is not only taking account how people behave in-game,
Yeah,
but
like in chat and voice chat and stuff like that.
they're also going to be taking a look at how people behave outside of Overwatch. Are you creating videos about Overwatch that are just atrocious? Are you live streaming on Twitch and you're being toxic and you're being negative? They're going out and making the steps to try to make this environment better, which I think is one of the first companies I've heard openly go out and do that. Now, I know most of the time, a lot of gaming companies don't like to show what their tactics are because they try to catch people in the act. So if you tell them what their requirements are, people are going to just then move slightly outside of their requirements and still
They're going to dodge you, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And still behave poorly, but just enough that it's gray and you can fight for it.
Right.
You know?
This announcement caused a bit of backlash from the community saying that Blizzard was going too far. And to be completely honest, while I don't agree, I can see where they're coming from. It feels like sort of a violation. Why would this gaming company, or why should this gaming company have any say in what I do elsewhere? And effectively, they don't. This is why I don't agree. They don't have a say in what you do. You can still go out and make toxic videos that are horrible, talking about how the Overwatch community is, negative in whatever way you think it's negative, and calling them whatever names that you want to call them. The difference is that Overwatch is curating their own community tightly. So while you can go and say those things, and they're not infringing on your right to do so, they will infringe on your right to play their game, which you don't necessarily have any inherent right to. Contracts are cool.
Because you signed a terms of service when you started.
They could probably just do whatever they want. It probably in that contract, if you take it all and add it together, says we can just do whatever we want whenever we want, and you have to like it.
As long as it involves our game.
As long as it involves their game. We can be almost certain that there will be in-game consequences, right? Like temporary, suspension or banishment.
Well, the reason I bring suspension up is because to show how far that they're going about this, is that they've actually had a professional esports person on the Dallas Fuel come out and make some derogatory terms against a fellow esports person on another team. And not only did they suspend him, but then they also turned around and fined him $2,000 for it, which rightly so. He deserved every form of that punishment.
Well, especially because it wasn't his first offense.
Yes. I understand that this is a sport and there is some level of trash talking, and I get that. I totally understand that. There's even a level of competitiveness of trying to one up or do better than the other person. But the problem is that once you go derogatory, once you go into the offensive territories, when you just are
like if you get racism, sexism involved, you've crossed a line really hard for a majority of the world. And yeah, like the gaming scope of like socialization is way more accepting of those things in smaller circles than the rest of kind of the world. But you have to realize that you're exposed to the rest of the world as a professional gamer way more than any other player of the game would be. And you have to be conscious of that. You have to be conscious that some 11-year-old that plays Overwatch might really be into watching your stream. and that you just said that to them, and that maybe the remark that you said is something that they can identify with, and now they think that you hate them or that they should feel bad for the way that they are.
Or they take you as an example and think that that behavior is okay.
And that they should say that to other little kids at school. Like, there's so many negative consequences to
the
that kind of behavior.
children!
I mean, yeah, there's a joke there, but it's actually super serious.
Yeah, no,
that's the crux of the issue, right? Like, one of the many cruxes of the issue. At least if you say something horrible in your own head, it has no outward ramifications for the most part.
Your soul gets a little bit blacker.
That is actually true. Not only is Blizzard taking steps to reduce this kind of behavior, but Twitch is also joining the fight. They're updating the community guidelines to broaden the definition of things like sexual harassment and racism and derogatory or whatever.
Harassment as a whole.
Harassment in general. To make it easier for them to react to unfortunate situations, right?
And they're further defining what these actions are so that there's less of a
Right.
gray zone of
Yeah.
oh, well, I didn't use
I didn't
Twitch.
know.
Yeah, I didn't know. But the other thing is that they're also pointing out that, and I'd like to say it, they're doing the same thing that Overwatch is doing, which is it doesn't have to happen just on Twitch.
Right.
You can go on YouTube and make a video about a Twitch streamer and say you should harass this person. They will take those things outside of Twitch and suspend you, punish you, permaban you, whatever they feel is appropriate for the actions in which you've done. And so it seems like this is going to be a global presence. Like, the internet is a very large and wide space, but it's a very tight-knit community. And if you're going to turn around and use these other apps to harass the people that are trying to, one, make a living, or two, trying to have enjoyment out of this,
Yeah.
then you deserve to be punished. You deserve to be banned for being, well, for a lack of a better term, a
The Twitch community guidelines changes should be coming into effect on February 19th. They also mentioned that content creators who have VODs that are in violation of the new content guideline rules are going to have to take them down before that date. People kind of were a little upset by that because there's some content creators with tons of VODs to parse through that might contain stuff like that. And you have to remember that, you know, inappropriate content can also come from your community, right? So if there's an inappropriate chat comment or an inappropriate donation with some voice stuff, that probably shouldn't be up there, you have to take that stuff into consideration. They came out after that kind of like confusion and backlash and concern over the time frame and said, as long as you make your best effort, we're okay. If something gets reported and we see that it's a kind of video that violates our new terms, we're gonna pull it down without telling you, but we're not gonna suspend you or take any action against your account unless it's an egregious violation. And then we reserve the right to suspend you or do whatever we want to do.
Something else that I found really interesting is that they're also going to be using context for their sexual content. So it's no longer going to just be, hey, I'm doing something inappropriate, I'm my right? It's also going to be based off of the clothing you wear, the angle of your camera that you've chosen, the emojis that you use within your chat, the overlay. Like, they're going to be using a lot more environmental things.
Right, because basically all that the old rules did for preventing kind of sexual behavior inside Twitch was make it subtle.
Yeah.
So basically they're trying to say, don't be subtle, just stop.
I mean, just stop using the eggplant emoji. Like, we know what that means.
Okay, but I like the eggplant.
But can we still use the peach?
Yes, the peach is okay, because peaches are delicious.
For
That's
that booty?
I think it's interesting that we're actually evolving as a whole.
all right. So I have a question for you guys. If you could answer me in the comments down below, that'd be really great. I personally don't think that any of these policies violate anybody's constitutional rights, like First Amendment freedom of speech kind of
Okay.
stuff. So go down to the comments. Let me know if you agree with me, you think this isn't a violation, or on the flip side, let me know if you don't understand the Constitution.
Let us know with either between 1 and 5 eggplant or peach emojis what your opinion about this episode is.
Yeah.
While you do that, give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you gave us a thumbs down because you didn't like the video, let us know what you guys are thinking and why you didn't like it. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Hit the bell icon so you get notifications about all of our future content. Until next time, guys, I've been Indigo, and you can reach me on Twitter at IndigoQT.
And I am Krug. You can get me at KrugQT on Twitter. You can also reach both of us at the same time. Him sooner because I don't look at my phone very often. At _Q
Times.
times. At _QueueTimes on Twitter. We've been GameGorgon. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye. At _QTQTimes is what I was going to say.